Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming back again at you with another page 1 team. This is going to be rank 11 for today. His name is MysticMatt. I saw the team that he hit legend with and hit the leaderboard with. I think he's 30-11, which is enough for 11th place on the leaderboard. So the team is going to be Vigoroth in the front, so basically another safe lead type team, with Mandibuzz in the back as your safe swap, and then Trevanent is going to be your kind of finisher. So you have two really safe Mon in this meta with Mandibuzz and Vigoroth, and one very volatile Mon in Trevanent. So this kind of works like a lot of the, I'll say ABB type teams, but in general, I'm going to use these two Mon, and I am going to gain an advantage through them. It's kind of like the Hypno Scrafty team, to be honest, because yeah, you're going to use these two safe Mon to gain an advantage, and then hope that your advantage, whether it's shield, energy, switch, whatever it is that you need to get in that game, and using that to lift Trevenant up, because Trevenant is a very frail Mon, so it can really get hit by a lot. And then there are also things that it's very weak against. So Skeledirge, Lickitung, these are the big ones. Mandibuzz, it can't not beat. At least you have chances against Lickitung, kind of, but not really. But there are scenarios where you win, where like Mandibuzz, you kind of don't win at all. But the point of it is, yeah. And then if you ever get a scenario where they swap in a Mon that Trevenant is good against, you take that and you just run with that advantage. So you've basically already won the lead at some point, because they're obviously switching into you. And if they switch in with like a Whiscash, that's just a no-brainer, easy 100 energy, or go up to 100 energy, throw a Seed Bomb, KO it, and then go into the next matchup with a ton of energy. And you hope that Shadow Ball, being one of the strongest moves in the game, will be able to maybe even get you another shield back. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. But first, if you haven't, definitely hit the subscribe button if you'd like to subscribe to this channel. And let's go ahead and get into it. Again, in the description, I have put MysticMatt's Twitter. I didn't see that he was a streamer of any sort, so and I have it in there right now, so it will not get forgotten this time. All right, I have the movesets there on the right. Basically, those are all the normal movesets. I guess some people are running Foul Play on Mandibuzz. I personally don't like it, but you could, I guess. And it also knows Shadow Ball, but this is the normal moveset, and we're using the normal one. So Game 1 here, obviously into Lickitung is a very nice lead for us. Another thing to note here is that Mandibuzz is pretty good against, obviously it's really good against Lickitung, and it's pretty good against Gligar as well. So we could even decide to stay in the Gligar matchup with Vigoroth, but the Vigoroth matchup is so dominant for Lickitung. We want to come in with our Mandibuzz here, which is would be less dominant against Lickitung. You can take a lot of damage from this Gligar. He did throw all of his energy, so I can go for good timing here. Again, if you are using a 3-turn move against a 2-turn move Mon, you want to throw on you want to throw on odd number Snarls, and they do come back in with the Lickitung. Again, this is a great matchup for us, but we really want the Vigoroth in here, but we'll never switch, because if we ever get this Lickitung onto Trevenant, it's going to be really bad news for us. So we'll just do as much damage as we can, come in with Vigoroth, and then hopefully farm it down. Although if they play this wrong, because you won't get KO'd here, we can still get another move off here. And if they play really wrong, we could even get an Aerial Ace after this. Actually, maybe not. We're kind of super low, even though we do resist the licks. Yeah, we definitely get KO'd here. And then probably we'll just leave the shield advantage for Trevenant. Ends up being an Annihilape in the back, just double shield through whatever they throw and farm this all the way down, and you should be good. So, yeah, we should be able to farm this all the way down. They don't get to 3 Night Slashes. I think they're still 3 away from, no, they're 4 away from the next one, I believe, here. Not counting while I'm talking to y'all, but obviously during the games I did count. All right, Whiscash in the front. Now, this is not great for us in the sense that I really would love Trevenant in this matchup, but it's good for us in another sense that we definitely outpace to the body slams versus the Scalds, and if we decide to shield here, we can definitely threaten with the next body slam, which means we might get a shield, we might get a switch. They do end up switching into Tentacruel. I don't know what I am doing here. I decide to just stay in this matchup forever and then throw a move even though my attack is reduced. But we do come in with the Mandibuzz. Oh, I'm remembering this game now. This is a sad one, I think. Well, it's weird. Do you guys ever have that emotion where you're so glad that you somehow got out of something unscathed, but you know you could have done better? So it's like, I feel bad, but I also feel so grateful. I think that's this game, if I remember right. We obviously live the Scald here. I'm just going to go for 2 moves and then an Aerial Ace, so it's bad timing, but I do want to throw before they get to the next move, and we do lose CMP as Mandibuzz against the Tentacruel, I believe. Not exactly a matchup I see too often. They do come in with the Skarmory. I do decide to go for good, or I try to go for good timing here, but we're not going to get a second move off, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I do end up coming back in with the Vigoroth here. I'm going to decide to shield, and now it's like I'm going to go for the Body Slam because they don't know if we're going to go for the Rock Slide, but I should be able to CMP to the next move here. And if they do decide to catch, we also would KO this Whiscash, or we would get close to KOing this Whiscash, and I would be able to farm it down. Go for a little bit of an undercharge there to try to go for another Body Slam against this Skarmory, but they do throw, which makes sense. They don't want to take that extra damage. I come in with Trevanent, and now it's like, okay, I can either try to go for a catch after throwing the Seed Bomb, because I have to just, it's going to be random though, because we don't know when they're going to throw. And I really would love to farm down with my Trevenant. They do wait a turn, really smart by our opponent, obviously. And they actually throw Brave Bird, which means we can actually KO here. But we get the 1 turn delay, which makes us tie. We should have probably won that. But at the same, and this is what I was talking about, at the same time, I'm really lucky to have gotten out of this game with a tie because I played horrifically. Not horrifically, obviously all the moves were timed perfectly and all this, but I could have definitely played better. But then we were so lucky that we even had a chance to tie in this game. Or is that what I just said? Yeah, but we could have possibly won. All right, Greedent in the front. A lot of people using Greedent Altaria Core, actually. I did see that someone else in the top 10, I think it was rank 8, is using an Altaria Greedent Core. And that'll come up later in this video, but I probably won't use the team before the end of this season. So I guess I'll just tell you, yeah, Elam, the guy who hit rank 1 on the leaderboard for the end of last season, was using Skarmory. Oh no, not Skarmory. Altaria lead with Greedent Safe Swap, and now I am forgetting the third. It's Shadow Quagsire. So yeah, Aqua Tail, Stone Edge. So if y'all are wanting to use that. Yeah, we can win the 2s here, so them going to this is a little odd. Excuse me. I guess they want to go shields down. Maybe they got something with, maybe they have like Skeledirge. That would be a good thing with shields down, with a little bit of an Incinerate lead. For Alligator's fine as well, although the Shadow Claws being double resisted by the Vigoroth means that we actually are able to make it to this move. And now is a question of whether or not I should come in. Oh, they actually came back in with a Greedent. I'm going to go, this is a weird play, and I realize that. I'm going to go up to the Seed Bomb. Oh, on Ilum's team, he's using Trailblaze on Greedent as well with Body Slam. I'm going to go up to the Seed Bomb, so I have this move for later, and then I'm going to go into this automatic winning matchup, this super dominant matchup for Mandibuzz, because I want to make sure I have that Seed Bomb for later. We do win CMP against Feraligatr. Yeah. And they have a move as well. I don't want to get caught with no energy and get one shot on my Trevenant with like an Ice Beam or Crunch or something like that. So yeah, just using the advantage of knowing that they already had switched, and now I can take another move here. So I'm going to try to go up to double Aerial Ace and just get some damage off. Although I really should be throwing against this Greedent, so I'm going to throw right here because Greedent's going to be a little harder for Trevenant to handle. And then I also have a chance to get to a move here, and I could switch at any time, and I actually switch at probably the worst time, but they're probably going to throw a Hydro here, so I'm like, okay, if I catch a Hydro, it's no matter, or it'll be fine because I will live that. They end up CMPing me, and then we end up winning. But if we had the one-turn lag, we still would have lived the Hydro. There's no way they were throwing Ice Beam at the Mandibuzz. Plus, we would get to another move on the Mandibuzz against the Feraligatr if they did do that. A lot of energy cost for the Ice Beam. Superior here. I do want to maintain this Vigoroth. I don't know if I'm going to need Vigoroth in the back or not. So they end up going for a catch here on Skeledirge, but luckily we go up to the Rock Slide. We don't throw right away because we know that they can't catch right away. Yeah, they're not going to get to a second Frenzy Plant before we're going to make it to 1 over. And even we win CMP, so we could go 2 over that Body Slam if we really wanted to do it the right way. I think this Skeledirge is going to end up shielding this because they're at another move right now. But I'm going to end up maintaining Swap, and I do have a ton of energy on this Mandibuzz, so I don't really want to lose Mandibuzz for free here. I know I can go for another full Snarl because if they do decide to come back in with Superior, I know I'm not going to die to any move. The worst move it can have, or the best move it can have against me is Aerial Ace, and that's definitely not doing a lot of damage. It's not a great move, first off, and then second off, it is doesn't have same type attack bonus. Now here I'm going to do something a little interesting. I'm going to pause the video real quick. So, well, I'll pause it on the HP that it has left. I'm not going to be able to Snarl this down before an Incinerate KOs me because my 2 Snarls will not go through, only 1 will go through. So I end up going for 1 Snarl here, and then a swap into another Mon to get that extra damage in before they can get the full Incinerate through. And I know that even though counter is resisted, it is so much more damage than a Snarl for fast attack, and that's going to be fine. I figure I'm going to take a Frenzy Plant here, but I still have this Trevanent, and I'm not going to die to 1 Aerial Ace, and they'd have to get to 2, and that's not possible before we farm them down, or before we get to the Seed Bomb in general. Alright, Gligar lead. I was talking a little bit about this when they swapped into a Gligar, but it's the same type of scenario here. Vigoroth is very neutral into this, even though they do resist the counter damage. I do try to catch a Dig here. And again, I'm trying to use both of these safe Mon to give extra power to Trevenant in the back. Empowerment, I guess, is a better way to say it. They do end up throwing an Aerial Ace, then they stay in still for another one. I'll go up to a little bit more energy. I believe I can go to 3. We'll see if I throw 1 or 3 here. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to go for 3, and then I decided to actually go for the Dark Pulse because I think they're slightly out of Aerial Ace range. They actually might be in Aerial Ace range, but I'm scared of it. They end up shielding, so I'm going to go for shield. They go bad timing here because they figure I'm just going to let it go. They're very scared against this Mandibuzz for some reason. If they do shield this, I will outpace them still to the next move since I have so much energy here on the Mandibuzz. They actually do let it go. Ends up being a Feraligatr. I do go up to the right amount of energy, and they do catch in a Poliwrath. Good for them. I'm going to come in with the Trevenant, though, and we should outpace them to this Seed Bomb by 1 before they get to Icy Wind, and this probably does KO Seed Bomb with the increased damage. And it is not a Shadow Poliwrath, but still doing a lot of damage there. We do win CMP against them here, and they do throw on... I think we did this in the last video, so I'm going to say bad timing, but last video, I didn't know that Feraligatr lost CMP to Trevenant, so sometimes you just have to learn these things in the moment, and you'll never forget them. They do go for the Ice Beam, but it means that I do still have Vigoroth left, and I am right at the Body Slam, which I totally forgot I was at, but it makes sense because... Was this a superior game? No, it wasn't. I don't remember. Oh, it was the catch on the Gligar. Yeah, we had a ton of energy coming out of that matchup. Annihilate is one of the worst leads for us. Actually, it's the absolute worst thing Vigoroth can see. We do get a Dugong here in the back. The one thing that's going through my mind right now is it could be the Jason 2890 team that we showcased last season, where it's Annihilate with close combat in the front and Dugong and Bastion in the back. And if it is Bastion in the back, well, Trevenant's going to have way more play against Bastion than it does against Dugong, that's for sure. But still wouldn't be that great. Another thing is, yeah, we're not going to be able to get to this Aerial Ace, which is not great for us as well. They do have a ton of energy. I think they're going to get 2 Icy Winds off here, so we can't try to snipe and get a little bit more energy on Trevenant. That would actually be the worst thing to do. We'll just take these hits and leave the 2 shields for Trevenant. Hopefully, if it is a Bastion, we are able to do something against it. It could also be like a double water team, maybe like Lantern in the back, maybe like Whiscash. That's always a possibility. Also could just be Lickitung. These are all things I'm thinking about while I'm staying in this matchup, and the fact that they're still staying in, I'm going to throw a move and see if I can get a shield out of this. If we do get the shield, I'll probably end up going for a farm down here. it's very possible that the 5 Shadow Claws from right here will KO. They end up having a Lantern, which is very good for me. The only thing is, we have to be careful about how much energy we allow them to get on the Trevanent, or I'm sorry, on the Annihilate, because we're going to come back in with our Vigoroth here, and if we get farmed down, that's going to be terrible. I do save a Seed Bomb just to make sure that I have it. Same scenario as a few games ago when we faced the Feraligatr. I want to make sure I have the move. This move will KO Annihilate, and we do win CMP against Annihilate. Now, this is a CMP tie here against the Lantern, and I couldn't decide whether or not I wanted to do full damage, but now we're just going to hope to win CMP, and we do. We definitely win CMP. We're hoping we don't get the one-turn lag that Niantic is constantly doing on the switch-ins. All right, Wigglytuff lead. Now, depending on your IVs on Vigoroth and Wigglytuff, I believe you can actually... No, if they try to charm you all the way down, they can do it in the one shield, I believe. But if they do end up throwing a move, you will get 3 moves off and get both shields on Vigoroth, if that's what they're going for. Oh no, yeah, maybe it is some sort of IV dependent, like I was saying before, because we end up getting both shields here. They actually end up letting it go weird. And for Alligator, again, even the Shadow variant means that we're going to make it to a Body Slam because we do double resist the Shadow Claws, being a normal type. But so we do end up getting both shields here, and now it's a... Do I think they have Ice Beam or not? And then they end up leaving before we ever get a chance to find out. Another Annihilate lead. Fantastic. This one, they go for... Oh, man, I remember this game. Good catch by them. Really no reason for me not to throw Dark Pulse, to be honest. It's very possible for them to obviously catch. Now, this matchup's not the worst. They have to throw Sky Attack first. Because then if they throw Brave Bird here, we're actually able to get super effective, or we're able to do a lot more damage to them with our neutral move of Dark Pulse. And I don't think a Brave Bird would even KO from here, so going to make sure I'm on good timing here. If this move goes through, I'm pretty sure I can 2-shield farm down, and if they ever Brave Bird, we definitely can. And they throw on really bad timing twice, actually, if I remember. This is the second time that they did, which... means that we're going to be able to KO without even going to that next shield. They do come in with Annihilate. Now, unfortunately for them, they did get one turn lag here. They didn't get a move through, and then they try to get another counter through, and we already have so much energy that we are able to get to this next Aerial Ace. They are going to KO us, which is not great, but we can definitely shield, and I figured they're going to go for Night Slash because they're on 10, and when people are on 10, they usually go for that double move. So I'm going to shield this next one. They're on 11, so they're going to be 4 away from the next one. I think we'll be able to KO with Shadow Claws before they get to that next one. They do end up coming in with a Swampert. Obviously, if we do hit them with a Seed Bomb, it'll one-shot. It is a Shadow Swampert. We're probably in... Oh, they have 9, though, here. We're probably in Hydro Cannon range. We do lose CMP here. Very good timing by them. I mean... they didn't really have choices, I guess, but great by them. We're actually going to CMP on this Seed Bomb, and I know for an obvious fact that Trevenant is going to win CMP against Swampert. That actually happened to me in a top 8 at a Pokemon Play event, where the end of the battle was literally a CMP tie against a Swampert versus my Trevenant that was in range of getting KO'd by a Hydro Cannon. So that was a crazy game. You can check that on my channel homepage, actually, here on YouTube. I think it's the last game on the intro video. Not many people watch that video. Maybe, can I actually post it? Is it here? Check now if it's here. All right, Altaria lead. We saw this earlier. Basically, if we land a Rock Slide, we can just go for the Body Slams, and we'll definitely outpace if they want to go to the 2 shields. So we'll go for the win on the lead, and they actually just let it go, and it ends up being a... Oh, this is where I know the team now because I saw it on Twitter. And I know that this is going to be a Greedent in the back, so I'm not going to try to do some fancy swap. I'm just going to let Trevenant come in here, and Mandibuzz hardcore beats Greedent, because Greedent only has Body Slam, and you double resist the Mud Shots, and Trailblaze is also resisted. So they end up coming with the Greedent, and this is over. we don't really even have to play anything out here. It will even come out of this matchup with a ton of energy to throw into the Quagsire, so at some point the Quagsire will also have to shield, and the Quagsire will also have to throw only Stone Edges into this, which means it'll basically be using all of its energy, and yeah, this opponent knows that it's over. Alright, cool. So if you even want to try the Ilum team, that one will be good for you there as well. I'm very sure it's a great team. Flyers and Mudboys go hand in hand. They have great coverage, great opposite coverages, so they cover each other very well as long as you pair it with the safe swap, and they're using the safe swap as Greedent. So thank you for watching this video. If you would like the video, that would help me out a ton, and if you would subscribe to the channel, that would also help me out a lot. Again, you can check out MysticMatt's Twitter. I don't know where else you could find him, but you can follow him on Twitter. He is, again, rank 11 on the leaderboard right now with a rating of 3011, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video, and if you want to continue to support me, definitely click that subscribe button. You'll see any content coming out, and if you want another video on this same league for some more tips and tricks to other teams, check that video out right there, and I'll see you in the next one.